Hi Virgo, and welcome to your May 2019 general reading. So I'm going to pull you an additional guidance card before I look at the rest of the cards. Oh, you got the milk and honey card as well. Who else got that? I think it was Capricorn. Okay. Very, very beautiful card. I have to say, Virgo, you're my fourth reading and everyone's reading is a little bit confusing. So I don't know if that means May. There seems to be a lot of energy of stalling. Saturn's going into retrograde. Jupiter's in retrograde. So when retrograde planets happen, there almost feels that you're doing backward steps, but it's actually not backwards. You're going to reflect. There's an awful lot of reflection on the next stages of your life. So quite a lot of people seem to be coming up with an awful lot of good things happening at the end of May. But the month of May looks like it's going to be very, very interesting. So can you give me clear messages for the sign of Virgo, please? So behind you is the Empress. Beautiful. With the Ten of Swords. So some of you are very tired. Now, I actually love the Ten of Swords as a card because it talks about the movement away from overthinking, trying to push things. You know that awful state, Virgo, when we get stuck in our own mind, to the Empress, which is about ruling from the heart and not the head, okay? But we'll clarify. Seven of Swords is what you most want. The Empress helping you get it. Okay, Five of Wands in your relationship house. Eight of Cups. Queen of Swords as the outcome. What comes after the Queen of Swords? Okay, Four of Swords there, and then you get the World card. Beautiful. This seems to be for most people that the end of May seems to be like the World or the Fool card. So a conclusion and a new beginning. But you've definitely got a very similar reading. So what you most want is the Seven of Swords, okay? So the Seven of Swords is, I think for some Virgos, there's a part of your life where you feel there's sort of grey areas. Maybe there's a relationship dynamic, but this relationship's not out in the world. It's a little bit hidden, maybe around your work. You definitely do not feel fulfilled, by the way, because you've got the Eight of Cups in the work section. The Eight of Cups is literally someone who's in search of the Ten of Cups. So around the work situation, there's a feeling of not being fulfilled. And the Eight of Cups is a questing card. And what you're questing for is literally the World card. And then the Fool. So to conclude a chapter in order to propel forward into a new destiny. Okay. So I'm going to clarify that. So I think really what you want, Virgo, is clarity. The Empress helping you get that, which is very, very nice, because the Empress, I am. Yeah, I am and I will. And he's looking right at the Seven of Swords. So really, these two cards together would speak to me that there's a little bit of a... Some of you are definitely not satisfied where you're at right now, okay? And there's this force of energy that's evolving through you that wants you to take the leadership of your own life. Be your own boss, by the way. Be your own authority. Set your own destination. So tell me more about the Seven of Swords, though. Tell me more why Virgo wants the Seven of Swords. The Star card. Yeah. The Star card is about transparency and openness. You got the Star card. You've been getting the Star card an awful lot. The Star card, she's naked and she's being vulnerable. And everything's very much out in the open because these emotions are being shared, which I cannot help feeling for some Virgos. There's some situations in your life where you do not feel are totally open. And I think for some of you it's beginning to cause a struggle. It might be about your relationships, or it might be around your work, okay? Because the Five of Wands is showing up in your relationship house, which is head and heart, going in separate directions. So why is the Five of Wands in the relationship house for Virgo? The Knight of Wands. So the Knight of Wands tends to be a fire sign, but not always. The Knight of Wands moves forward. The Knight of Wands says yes to life. Yeah? Quite often it's about flirtation and fun rather than anything very serious. But there's a head and heart tension about following your desires, basically, Virgo. And maybe for some of you, it's because some of this energy feels a little bit shady and you want a situation to be more transparent and more out in the open. Okay? The Emperor's helping you get that, which means you've got access to one mighty power force. The Emperor's about our will, yeah? It's about concentrated focus on a goal. And there's definitely a relationship dynamic here. And I think for some of you, you're even maybe saying no to a dynamic until it comes out of the sort of shadowy areas and into a much more authentic place, okay? Any more clarity on these cards? Yeah, the Two of Discs, which is juggling. Sometimes it's about letting go of a pentacle you're holding on to. For some of you, there might be some sort of fun on the table, some sort of romance, but you're a bit unsure about pursuing it, by the way. So I can only read the cards I get, because the Knight of Wands is about desire, and the Five of Wands is about being in a little bit of head and heart pull, about following these desires. But I can't help, this might only be for one person watching, guys. You know the rule, be generous, share your blessings. I can't help feeling for some Virgos, there's a love and a desire for someone that just maybe the person or you are not totally available to pursue. And I feel I've been getting that message for quite a while, Virgo, and I just think there's someone watching who needs to hear this, okay? But so what you're doing with the Emperor is probably putting boundaries down, or, you know, maybe some of you are even trying to just distance yourself and focus on your own life, because the Eight of Cups in your life path talks to me about you're maybe not really fulfilled in what you're doing. And then the Sun card shows up. So the Sun is our true colours. In our birth chart, it represents this lifetime and what we are here to do, the warmth we put out into the world, okay? So the Sun card is showing up in your money and work. The Eight of Cups came first, which is a card about going into the unknown, because there's a feeling that behind this mountain they're going to hit some new day. And you are, because it's followed by the Sun card. Some of you might be walking away from a job into another one, just like that. Okay, I mean, very, very beautiful. Not that often that you see someone going into the night, which is the unknown, and coming up with the sun so quickly. But you are, Virgo. So, and it's right under the Emperor, which is that focused energy on where you want to put your life force. Because where we put our life force is what we get. And that's how cards like the Ten of Swords, when you're not as focused on your mind, you move into your heart. And there's a feeling, I think, particularly around what you do to earn your daily bread and what you give your time to. Because what you give your time to, one of the biggest commodities we have is our energy, and what we give it to is so important. So there's a lot of questioning and a lot of questing about what makes you feel alive, what gives you light. Because what you're doing is you're searching for light. And when we search for light, we're searching for an environment or a job that gives us meaning. And that's exactly what's going on here. I'm going to clarify relationships. Confusing picture. Nine of Discs is a challenge. The Nine of Discs is a card of alone and loving it. But maybe some of you aren't really feeling that. You might be missing someone a little bit. Or you might be sort of waiting for some movement around your relationships. It's okay to be genuine, to admit where you're at and what you're looking for. Okay? But there's definitely sort of, because the Nine of Discs is the minor arcana of the Hermit. So maybe, maybe there's some people watching and I've got to a point where I've done the alone thing and I now want to share myself with someone else. And then this Knight of Wands comes along, and the Knight of Wands is more a fun-loving knight than marriage material, and maybe that's where the head and heart is and the conflict is, or that sort of thing. Following your desire seems to be a little bit complicated for you. So that tends to mean that there's a reason why. And the reason why is very, very often someone else is already involved or you are. There's a blockage on the way. But I will clarify. At a soul position, you've got the Two of Wands, which is very similar to the Eight of Cups. There's a lot of searching for your true place, for your colours, okay? Then you get the Queen of Swords, which is about truthfulness, by the way, which is leading to the World card. So the World card is successful conclusion of a chapter, and then we move forward in the Fool card, when we move forward into brand new beginnings. And look what you just got, the Fool card. So this is about new potentials and new avenues showing up. But you seem to have a very similar theme to most people. That there's definitely some complex stuff around everyone's relationships. And the trick when that's going on is to shift your focus elsewhere. But we don't find the sun by pushing. We allow the sun to come out after we leave behind the known in search of the sun. But really beautiful stuff here. And what's so beautiful is the World with the Fool card, because that's a completion followed immediately by a new pathway and a new beginning. So some great energy around what you do to make a living, or even what you feel that you'd like to do. But what is going on in your relationships, I'm a little bit perplexed about. The Hanging Man, yeah. And there's fear, because the Nine of Swords. So first of all, I think it's really strange that you enter May not being in your head, but being in your heart. But then there seems to be, you go back into an awful lot of overthinking. Nine of Swords, that sort of card, okay? And so the Hanged Man's message is always the same, really, because the Hanged Man is about letting things find their own way. And when we really, really claim, I'm not talking about just a little bit, but really claim the power of the Hanging Man, we're in this stage where we don't have to fight or push. Because when we're in those states, we're in literally what I call a state of resistance, and we're not in a state of flow. So we can navigate difficult relationship themes by moving what we give our attention to. So when we move our attention away to things like the Hanged Man and away from fear, we follow our instincts, we follow our desires, but we don't get bogged down by them. And I'm not saying, Virgo, that you do whatever you want, because I don't really think that's what your energy's about anyhow. But there seems to be a message, there seems to definitely be a relationship message here. And there's a head and heart conflict. Because this is an awful lot of head. The Five of Wands is head and heart going in different directions. The Knight of Wands knows where he's going, by the way, because he's following his instincts and his desires. The Hanging Man, because it's the major, is always the highest card. So sometimes it represents taking risks, loving what is and what comes our way, rather than trying to make it into something else. So it's an awful complex message here. I want to pull another card for your relationships. Okay, you've got the Loyal Heart. Now, I love the Loyal Heart because that's about seeing evidence of someone's feelings for you in your everyday life, okay? Because we can feel all we want, but unless sometimes we can see the evidence of that, then we just feel that we're going around in circles, and there's a little bit of energy about this, Virgo. There's something complex in your relationships. And I don't know if the complexity is more about overthinking. Because you can't think your way out of something, and you can't think your way into something. Really, all we can do is move into that state of surrender or the state of grace. And when we live in the state of grace, it's the energy of a divine feminine who doesn't make anything happen. She allows things to happen, which is what Virgo represents anyhow. So I'm not saying you just sit there and do nothing, Virgo. I'm really, really not. But the Star card lives very, very, very much in her heart. And the Emperor, I would rather you put the Emperor into this Eight of Cups that's leading to the Sun card, because there seems to be something within you that just is not satisfied with where your life path is. And that's what the Emperor's job is. The Emperor doesn't belong in matters of the heart unless you're literally trying to lock someone out. But he's fantastic at helping you find your mission, yeah? And that's what I'd like you to put that energy towards. Because it would say to me, because the Queen of Swords is about truth. She doesn't always come across that way, but I'm going to read her that way because the fact that Eight of Cups is going to the Sun, I'm going to say a lot of your new possibilities seem to be coming through the area of life path. Yeah, which is beautiful. I love the World card leading to the Fool because it means there's been a successful conclusion of the book of your life, and you're about to merge into the 0 point. So the 0 point is the ultimate that everyone wants to live in. And it's like you're propelling your destiny forward in this brand new direction. I cannot help feeling it's more about your career. And the relationship reading, you're going to see this evidence coming your way of someone's feelings, of desires. But there's something confusing about this relationship. And Virgo, if you look at everyone, you're my fourth reading, every single one's got the same picture, and I do not know what's going on in our relationship dynamics. I really, really don't. But there's a lot of pictures about moving to a conclusion and a new beginning. I don't even want to ask for any more thing about your relationships. I think some of you's watching going, yeah, that's exactly what it is. There's something confusing going on here. But your power lies in your life path. And your life path is another way to describe your career. It's what you give your time to, basically. And if I was you, Virgo, that's what I'd be going for. And around your relationships, I'd see who this Knight of Wands is, because I really like the Knight of Wands. He's fun. It's fun, it's desire, it's passion. But I would definitely give my energy more to the career, and I'd allow the relationship situation to take care of itself, because the Hanged Man takes care of it for you. If only you hear its whispers that say, just let this go. Just let this find its way, because it will, because everything always does. Yeah? Okay, Virgo, I will be doing relationship readings next week. Oh boy. If you want a personal reading with me, my email's in the About section. And lots of love to you guys. Bye.